Okay, so now we are going to be moving on to area of a circle. So we talked about circumference, the length around the outside of a circle, or like its perimeter. Today we're going to talk about the area of a circle. So really everything that fills up the inside of a circle is the area, just like you would find area of a rectangle or a triangle or something like that. So there's today only one formula for the area of a circle, so it's a little bit easier for us to remember. Area A is equal to pi times r squared. Now, we talked about pi yesterday. Remember, we can write it up here. Pi equals 3.14. So we know what pi is, and we should know what radius is. So radius, remember, is the length halfway across the circle from one edge of the circle to the center. So if you know your radius, you can find the area of a circle. Okay, so let's just start by using the formula for an example. So let's start with example number 1. Okay, so let's say that we have a circle and they tell us that the radius is 4 centimeters. Okay, so we identify the radius. Radius equals 4 centimeters. We identify the radius, and then we're going to substitute the radius into our formula. Okay, so you have A area equals pi times. Now, when we substitute our radius, I first want you to write it like this. Radius squared. Don't substitute your radius and square it all in the same step, because I want you to be able to see it like this before you move on and actually square it in your formula. Okay, so once you've written that, then we can go on and square the radius. So keep everything the same, pi times. Now 4 squared, that's like saying 4 times 4. And we know 4 times 4 is 16. All right, so now we have what looks like the same kind of thing as yesterday. We didn't have any squareds yesterday. But once you square your number, then we know how to just multiply that number by pi. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. 3.14 times 16. All right, 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 2 is 8. 6 times 3 is 18. And bring down your placeholder. 4 times 1 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. And 3 times 1 is 3. Okay, now add them together. Okay, and now we have 2 decimal places in our multiplication, so we need 2 decimal places in our answer. So the area of this circle is 50.24. Now, whenever we write area, just like we would write area of a rectangle, you remember we square our units. Okay, so if we were to find the area of this circle with a radius of 4 centimeters, our area is going to have centimeters, but they're going to be centimeters squared. Okay, so always make sure that you have that centimeter square or unit squared in your answer. Okay, now let's do one more example. Example 2. All right, but now we're going to have a circle where they tell us the diameter. Okay, so now we know the diameter as 14 meters. Okay, now there's only one formula for area of a circle. So if our one formula uses radius, then if we are given the diameter, we have to first find out what the radius is. We can't just take 14 and plug that into our formula, because that is, our formula uses radius, not diameter. They give us diameter in this problem. So the first thing you do, if you're finding the area, Go ahead and identify the radius. Remember, the radius is halfway across the circle. So if all the way across your circle is 14 meters, halfway across would be half of 14, or 14 divided by 2. So 14 divided by 2 is 7. So your radius in this problem is 7 meters. That's the first step, okay? Now, second step, go ahead and substitute your 7 into your formula. Remember, write it out before you plug everything in and square. Okay, so we have area equals pi times 7 squared, because 7 is the radius. Okay, now we can go ahead and square 7. 7 times 7 is 49. Okay, so now I have pi times 49. Just like yesterday's problem, a number times pi, we know how to do that. So let's go ahead and do that. 3.14 times 49, okay? 9 times 4 is 36. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 3 is 12. 9 times 3 is 27, plus 1 is 28, okay? Placeholder. 4 times 4 is 16. Let's scratch out these. Is 16. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5. And 3 times 4 is 12. And add them together. Okay, so we have 2 decimal places in our multiplication, so we need 2 decimal places in our answer. So the area of this circle is 153.86 meters squared. Do not forget about the units squared. Okay, so for area, we have one formula, but you have to look at what the problem gives you first to know what number is going to go right in there for radius. All right.